that each discipline taught you?
Don't be afraid of moving into something unknown. You find a way to go through. Swimming is about consistency. It's about performance and hanging in there, and also not to give up until you really have achieved the target.
What about karate then?
It's a lot about respect. It's a lot about seniority. It's a lot about learning movements fundamentally, understanding the physical background of that, and then of course training and repeat and to execute this movement accurately. Yeah? If you put yourself in a learner's position towards somebody who's in a teacher's position and you exhibit that respect, I think you can also get the positive input from that person who can teach you.
So what is it that the boxing taught you?
It teaches you the right distance. It teaches you to relax when it's not necessary, really to watch the other opponent, to have the right timing to approach somebody, and really just to put your power into that when it's necessary, not to waste it, because if you make a round of 3 minutes, then it can be quite tiring.
That's interesting. In regards to change, when we are talking about a changing environment, it takes a lot of stamina and of course a lot of energy. So how would you apply that to your daily work at MAHLE?
I mean, you have a lot of projects going on, and sometimes, even though you're completely responsible for the whole thing, there are moments where you have to give the task to a person, to entrust the task to a person, and then let go and have a certain touch point where you follow up again. Yeah? If you're standing observing the person the whole time, you don't give the trust to the person, you cannot really rely on the expertise. So be close if necessary, and give a little bit distance, give a little bit freedom where it's necessary for the other person to perform. I think this is something you can really learn, and in the end, it's over when it's over. So you have to go through it really until the bitter end. And of course there is interaction with this component. It could be competition, it could be of course something like that. You don't know what happens, and you shouldn't be surprised, but you should be prepared and have the right reaction, but relax while you do that. If you want to change your position, your posture, if you are stiff, it's not going to happen. So I think the point is really to relax, to be in good balance with yourself. I think we have talked about the topic of resilience, and you get hit or you get kicked, and you should stand up again, or you should not get worried, now I'm going to lose that much. You should be really fully in that moment. Live in that moment, be aware in that moment what's going to happen. So if you fail, and I think that's what you're probably going to hear from a lot of people who do sports, there are moments of failure, and of course you should learn from that, you should adjust, but you need to leave it behind to go forward in order to really succeed in the end.
It's an interesting topic, because failure and recovery, especially for athletes, if they have had to face an injury and they're prepared for the next competition and they can't, or if you're in business, how would you view that from your point?
I mean, if you have been to a certain level, and if you have an injury, you start from a lower level. Don't try to go there, because first of all you have to recover. You have to communicate with your body. You always have to listen to what your body needs in order to be back sustainable. Let's just take AI for example. People said, I haven't done that before. How should I deal with it? You have to find an approach there, and to master that topic. And so it's the same thing with sports. You have to find your own way to master it in consultation with your own capabilities. And that's also, and then when it comes to the point of recovery after an injury, listen to what your body needs and then make it happen.
What is it that golf taught you?
Golf teaches you that you have a certain level of competence, but in order to show that level of, or to exhibit and to provide that level of competence in your play, you have to completely relax. If you try to do something, force something with power, you're going to fail. And you're going to laugh about yourself. You are the best version of yourself you can only achieve if you're relaxed. If you don't try to prove something, but just really precisely try to execute what you have learned. You cannot be something better than what you are capable of. It's the same in whatever presentation, in whatever situation you do at work. Yeah? Don't pretend to be something more than you are. And just be authentic, being yourself, and I think then also the best performance you can deliver at that moment, you will deliver.
Your best advice for young people or future leaders when it comes to resilience, dealing with failure, recovery, coming back?
Don't be emotional about it. Yeah, just try to understand what has just happened. Why did it happen or why did it not happen? Have a little humor to deal with that, because it helps you overcome pride or expectations, and just challenge it again. Yeah, try to think it through, but also trust your body. Yeah, sometimes the mind tries to tell you something, but the body is not able to execute that. Yeah, have a good communication within yourself. I think it's something also about, you learn with sports, you learn a lot about breathing. Yeah, I mean, it's the same with yoga and other things. Yeah, the only thing we really can consciously control is how we breathe, and that can control the rest of our body. If situations get tough in a working environment, breathe calmly, you will find a way through. Yeah, there's emotionality coming up, there are feelings coming up, try to breathe them down and then have a calm view and make your choices. You have to balance your risks. You can take risks, but of course they come with the danger of injury or even death. So this is something you have to be really careful. That means like you need to focus on what is important at that moment. So whatever you can have in routines, things which are important for my life, do I check it carefully? Yeah, this is safety. I learned a lot about safety. The other thing is I learned about the amount of conscious decision making in a short time is limited. That means like everything you can put into routines. You have free head to really think about what's coming up. There's an interest, it's a very old book actually by Keith Coate. He basically compared the conscious ability of decision making to a $10 bill. Yeah, if you have to think about where's my break point, you use already $1 for that, you only have $9 left.
So when you're talking about energy and raising awareness towards it, was there a specific point in time where you knew, oh, that's it?
If I just stay with my own thoughts, if I'm not completely open to that trainer, to that expert who is with me at that point of time, I'm not going to step forward. So I think at the beginning you have to be really aware to be a learner, a listener. Yeah, and also be open to have critical comments about yourself. Yeah, and to really accept them, because in the end, I thought I'm going to do it right, and in the end, they were right. So I learned that a lot. So I think the earlier you admit to people who give you advice, to your coaches, and you are open to that, willing to change and willing to reflect what others see in you or don't see in you, I think the quicker you will be successful.
So that means, would you be saying then, as a leader, it's an important winning trait that you stay to be a listener and learner?
Yes, of course. And try to get as much feedback as possible. Feedback is very important. Sometimes feedback can be difficult to absorb, to digest, but nevertheless, always it's very valuable. Yeah, if you can see it, even from people which might be so close to you, some people which you might rather put into the category of being not your friends, but that can be one of the most really powerful hints in order to change.
So when we're talking about sports, mental strength, mental training, and talking about leadership decisions, you mentioned that we are living in a volatile world, changing environment. How much did the mental strength from sport prepare you for the tough decisions that you have to make as a leader?
I mean, if we take boxing, yeah, and you are in a sparring situation with a person, and of course you have to keep the different distance. You always have to make judgments. What's the right thing to do at that point of time? But once when you made a decision, now is the time to attack. Then you should really execute. I think once you have made a decision, execute it. and then readjust again to the situation. And that's also in a volatile world. Yeah, if you stay confused with your decision making, the people you're responsible for, the people you're supposed to lead, the organization you're supposed to lead gets confused as well. Yeah, there is the necessity to make, depending on the environment, different decision, different judgment. But once you have made that decision, go through with it, with everything it takes, and then at a certain agreed point of time, or defined point of time, review and then redo again.
Looking back, what is it that you'd be saying that is most important for future leaders with regard to sport and making their career decisions?
It's important to make sure that you are doing sports, whatever sports that is, and that you do it somehow regularly. Have the discipline to do it, and I think then you will be very balanced. Yeah? Because then things also, it balances you also emotionally. Yeah? If you're all the reactions you're having is, of course, our mental reactions, but within this implemented in this body, physical body we are having. Yeah? And if that body is in balance and has strength and is relaxed, then the mind is also stronger and more relaxed.
Thank you very much.